My favorite harmony vibe is the
Oh, yeah. Like, who makes that note choice?
Hey, I'm Tinashe,
And I'm Ricky Reed.
and we're taking you behind the song Nasty. I've been a nasty girl, nasty. I've been a nasty girl, nasty. I've been a nasty girl, nasty. I've been a nasty. It was a regular day in, I don't know, maybe November. Initially, we did a session where we just kind of like were catching vibes and like making some beats. We left that session with like a couple rough ideas. We had another session, like a follow-up one. So I had those rough beats and I wanted to come to the session with some ideas. Typically when I write songs, I like to record myself freestyling, like vibing on the track. So I set up my computer in my car on the way over here and I was recording myself freestyling on the beats. I'd just gotten this necklace that said Nasty because I have this nickname, Nasty Nashe. So I had in my mind like the concept of nasty, or I wanted to write a song kind of like that. I was driving over, I was freestyling in my car, kind of came up with the initial lines. Is somebody gonna match my freak? I've been a nasty girl, nasty, I've been a nasty girl. It just kind of stuck. It sounded right.
I was like trying to like serve things to you that I thought made sense. Like, maybe she'll like this vibe, maybe she'll like that vibe. And I kept realizing every time, like, it's gotta be a little weirder. It's gotta be a little stranger. It was like probably 2 or 3 sessions of her being like, give me the freaky shit over and over, until this one was the first time where we sort of like found that middle ground, both in the terms of the track and in what you were gonna say on it, you know?
I definitely feel like that initial session where we were kind of brainstorming what the track should sound like, there was a really interesting moment where we found that juxtaposition between like the minor chords and the major chords. From the hook having kind of like a more open, soaring, very melodic section to then something that was like super talky and chanty, and then also incorporating those background vocals that made it sound even more like dark and mysterious and weird. So it was fun being able to like start with the idea of being like, let's create 2 different sections that give you 2 different moods. And I feel like that created something that felt very satisfying to the listener.
The day that we made it, we felt great about it. And then about a week or 2 later, I brought in a co-producer named Zach Seekoff. He was the first person that I played it for that I saw the reaction of someone who wasn't in the room on day one. And especially coming out of the hook, and the choice to lose the kick drum when we come out of the hook was the first time I saw it light somebody up, and I was like, this might be a thing. Right here. Pulling the kick out there and letting the 808s ride. When I saw him moving to that, I was like, might have a record. Basically, there's 2 elements in the low end here. Well, actually, there's 3 technically in the song. There's the 808, which I tapped out on a drum machine, which is a kind of a weird line.
To me, this is what gives it that like West Coast, kind of fits that pocket so well.
What's really pleasing is when you go from the hook to the next part, you have 2 low-end elements that are in the hook. This kick, the synth bass. But when it drops out to that 808, that's the moment.
Yeah, that's that shit.
That's, as they say. The one thing on this track that's wasn't actually programmed but was played out live is actually this 808. And I played out the 808 live with her in here.
This song is one of the more simple from production standpoints. The simplicity kind of makes it easier to digest and understand. So I think that's some of the beauty of, you know, the less is more approach to the lyrics and the production of the song.
With everything that we've done together, we have created it from scratch. So this was another one of those that was both of us sitting down and me kind of playing things, and I'll just be like, if you like something, just yell.
So we kind of just started with like a kick and a snare.
Pretty early on, both of these main sort of like little chord loops I kind of developed, which is of course is the intro and the chorus. And then I also had this.
I was like, ooh, this one's weird.
Yep, and I was like, well, you're gonna have to pick one, Tinashe. And you were like,
Both.
do we really though?
Yeah.
That was pretty early on in it, and definitely day one. Tapping out the 808s over that was a big moment in it.
We made the beat for day one. I had the idea and we like workshopped the idea here.
Yep.
Then I took that workshop back to my studio and recorded it with my engineer and did the final vocals.
You went and cut vocals, I went in with my co-producer, and then we mixed it. The ones we have here are actually our demo vocal. So you can hear what it sounded like on the very, very, very first day.
I've been a nasty girl, nasty. I've been a nasty girl, nasty. That part feels like the hook. The I've been a nasty girl, nasty. That just feels like you want to keep returning to that. That's the part that sticks in your head immediately, and you can't forget it.
Also, I don't know what these are, but the harmonies that Tinashe does.
Feels like heaven when it hurts so bad. I like it just like that.
Unbelievable.
My favorite harmony vibe is the
Oh, yeah. Yeah, to me, this moment was almost like reminiscent of like Parliament or something. Like, who makes that note choice? So then we layered a synth with it.
When I go into the studio, I'm always considering how I'm gonna dance to a song because dance is so important to me as an artist and how I express my music and how it's gonna translate on stage. And I think that this song has a particular BPM, a particular cadence, a particular attitude that I always like to embody on stage. I think on stage I feel the most myself and the most confident and the most braggadocious. So tapping into that kind of persona, that character when thinking of the lyrics to the song was really helpful. And then that's just kind of extended through the music video and trying to capture that really bad bitch energy that like everybody wants to embody.
Something that you added when you did your vocal sessions that I never even got to tell you about how much I loved. These little guys, gals.
Looks like you better spend the night. Looks like I'm about to change your life. Wife type.
These little ones.
Match my freak.
I like those.
These go so hard.
Yeah, those are nice.
I just love how you're always down to use your voice as a sample. Like, you're always guided by what's just gonna be the record.
Yeah.
What sounds hot, and that's a great choice.
So I've just been having so much fun performing Nasty so far and getting that feedback from the fans, and they're just so excited to hear it, and they're singing the words, and I'm just using that as inspiration to create the rest of the live show and kind of keep that energy moving and going and expanding. I've been a nasty girl, nasty. I've been a nasty girl. The thing about when I go into creating songs, I never go in with the expectation that it's gonna perform any particular way. So as much as I always have like the hope that each song is gonna be this amazing hit, I think my focus is generally on what's exciting to me, what's interesting to me, what's inspiring, what's moving me. So as much as I want to say like, yeah, I knew from like the day one, I feel like I kind of didn't approach it with the idea of like, let's make something catchy, memeable, TikTok-y. That's always in the back of your head, but that's never really what it's about. My favorite part about the fact that the song has gone super viral on the internet is that everyone can kind of interpret it in their own way. There's so many different trends and versions of the trends. That's, to me, super exciting because it's not just serving one particular purpose or one particular audience, it's really bridging the gaps. It's just been so many different amazing ways that people are making it their own and relating to it, and I think that's one of the most special parts about it.